The first thing we want is to actually remove the item, because although this is supposed to delete, I'm not actually sure what it does, because I don't think I've gotten it to work, at least not the way I think it works, so maybe it's something else. But we want to remove the crowbar from your inventory once you've used it on the door. So let's do that. We go over here and we search up remove item, and here we are. We take this, copy and paste it in there. Remove item. So there are two things you can put here. You can put crowbar like that, type it correctly, that is, or you can put like this is more a reference. If you put as item, holy crap, as item. If you put as item right there, this pretty much references to this thing, and the way that works is that pretty much what is used to call this reference, like what is used to call this event, is this thing, so it's like replaced. And in this case, this would be replaced with this, but if another one would, another thing would call the same function, this would not be this. This would be what is currently being used to call the function. So it's a bit advanced. It's kind of hard to know exactly how it works, but pretty much this removes the item that is currently being used to call the event, which is the crowbar. So it makes it a lot more flexible if you want to make some more in-depth code. So you can make different things happen or whatever. It's pretty much up to you anyway. But if you just put remove item as item, this does not have quotes because it's a variable and not a string. Then it will remove the item currently being used to call the event, which is the crowbar. Or you could just put crowbar in quotes there anyway, but I'm gonna do it like this anyway. Alright, so the next thing is a play sound effect. This is more for detail again, but play sound. Let's see, this one. Play sound identity. Copy the whole line there. We're gonna paste it in right there. And the sound name, just put double quotes, doesn't need any name. The sound file, this is gonna be file, we want like the crouch sound when this plays. The crouch sound is called player_crouch.snt, so player_crouch.snt. So you'll hear the crouching sound when this happens. And the entity to play it on is going to be the player, because it's the player crouching, like it wouldn't be played somewhere far away from you. And the fade time, it's not gonna fade anything, but I'm gonna put 0.005 or 0.5. That was what is actually used in the real game where I found all this, but I suppose it doesn't really matter that much. And the save sound, I'm gonna put false on that one. And then we're gonna put one more thing in this event, which is going to be timer. So let's go find add timer right there, paste it right there, and the string after timer, let's come back to that a little later after we've done these. The amount of time, it's just going to be a really quick timer, because it's not like you're going to use it, it doesn't happen instantly. It's going to wait 0.2 seconds until it happens, so it makes it a bit more realistic, I suppose. It's not like you instantly use it, you're more like preparing or picking up or whatever you use in those in that time. And the function to call, we're going to call it timer. Use crowbar, I suppose. Timer place crowbar. Let's call it that. So this thing again, we're gonna do similar to as item earlier. We're gonna do as entity, which again it references to this thing, and this references to the entity that is actually the item is being used on, which in this case is also going to be the door. So pretty much the name of the timer is door, but the timer doesn't really need any name, but it's going to be a reference to a later event. So basically you can put double quotes there if you want to make things a bit simpler, but I'm going to do it this way. You'll probably understand later what this is used for. So yeah, we're done with this event. Now we're just going to have to make the timer event, which we defined here. And yeah, let's see. We go here, void timer place crowbar, and this is going to have the parameters of the string, which you will find on the page, but I use timer so much that I remember the whole thing. So you just, it's not that much anyway, but you do string and ns timer pretty much. But if you don't remember these things, you will find them here if you go and add timer. Didn't I have all of that? Yeah, it'll be found right here. So you have that there, and here we can place the things in the timer event. Alright, so I realize I'm going quite slow here, but let's just go a little bit faster anyway. In this event, after 0.2 seconds, it's going to spawn the crowbar joint. So you go here, you find set entity active, and you paste that in right here. The name is going to be joint, or it's going to be whatever you named this file right here. I named it joint. This is the thing that you're going to push this way. So I'm going to name it joint, and bool active, either true or false. True, it's going to be active. False is going to be inactive. So it's pretty much turning on and off this entity. So you just do true to put it on. Also, we want to play a sound at that time. So I'm going to do space, new line, and let's see. Actually, let's just copy the PlaySound we have right here. And alright, so it doesn't need any name. We're gonna play another sound. I believe it was puzzle underscore plays underscore jar. It sounds like it's the wrong file, but pretty much it just makes a little dunk noise as you put the crowbar in the door. And we're gonna play it not on a string as a player. It's gonna be played at the. It's a similar reference to earlier as timer, but this would only work if the as timer that it's referencing to, which is going through here over here, has a reference to as entity, or it's named the same as the entity, but that would be kind of pointless. Anyway, so this, it's like reference everywhere. The timer references to the timer that is calling the event, which is this one, and the name of this timer is another reference to the entity that is being used on. So it's basically referencing all the way back to this one. The good way of doing it this way is that if you ever change or do like a typo here, door, no, if you name it something else, if you decide to change name, you can just change this name and all the references will update. You don't need to change this and this and this. You just need to change that. So that's good. Anyway, it's referencing all the way back to the door through all this. So pretty much it's playing the sound at the door where you're placing the crowbar. If you like, you could also play it at the effect area. It's pretty much the same. And also we want these pretty much the same, just 0. Doesn't need any fading. And yeah, save that. And now we are done with this again. And we're pretty much done with the whole item use part, this part. Now the only thing we have left is what happens when the crowbar is colliding with the area. Now this is a very big event, so it's going to take a while. Firstly, we want to go on the collide function again, and we want to copy this, that, and we want to paste that in under here. And these are the parameters for the collide function, which is parent, child, and states. And we need to name the function break door, which is what we named it up there. And let's open and close the block, and now we're going to add quite a lot of things in here. We're going to start with changing the which crowbar entities are active or not. We go on this page, search up set entity set entity active. We just copy this one actually. Pretty much we just copy it twice. Let's put another tab there, like that. We're going to change them. So set entity active joint is no longer going to be active, but the other one, which is the broken crowbar, is going to be active again, or for the first time. So pretty much it just changes. If you understand that, it's just removing the joint that you used to pull it open and spawns the broken one, which in game it's just going to look like the same one. It's just pushing it and it broke, and you break up the door and stuff. So that's the entities. We're also going to have to change a few things on the door. Let's see, we go here, search up swing door. Oh, this was not the command. Let's find this one. Set swing door locked. Actually, now that I think about it, I never did this in the level. Select the door, go on entity and lock it, because of course it's not going to be open. Yeah, I forgot that completely, but let's just save that. And yeah, pretty much it's gonna unlock the door. It's like a key, but it's not used like a key. Anyway, set swing door locked, and just copy the line, put it in right here, and go back here, and the name of the door, in my case it's just door, but just put whatever you named it. And if it's going to be locked or not. True would be locked, false would be unlocked, so false. And if you're going to use effects during that, I'm not going to do that because it's not normal unlock, it's just spawning unlocked or whatever. It's just suddenly unlocked as you break it up. In code it's unlocked, in game it's of course busted open. And we also want this one, which is directly below, which is pretty much the same, except it's closed. It defines whether it's closed or not. So we'll do the same thing here. Door, and is it closed? True. No, false. Damn it, I suck at typing. And false for effects. So it has no effects, it's no longer open, it's no longer locked. And we need this thing that is down here as well, auto close. This one might sound a bit different, I suppose. Disable auto close. So let's just put the door here as the name of the entity, and disable auto close, true. What this does is that it prevents the door from instantly closing itself. So pretty much we're opening the door, but if it closes right away, it won't do much. This is more for the event of actually making the door swing open as it breaks open. A lot of custom stories can't make this happen, which is it is a bit tricky, I must say, yeah, because you have to change some variables depending on which direction your door is facing in the world. So if it's even diagonal, that would be quite tricky. I'm not sure how to do it in diagonal doors. But yeah, so that's for the doors. I'm just putting a bit space so it looks systematic.